These are the fire readings. The fire reading for the week of January 2nd, 2017. Happy New Year, fire, 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 fire breathers. There's a very cool image which shows up that is that of your heart, surrounded by this like triple flame. And again, this is a very like tantric, esoteric kind of vibe, symbol, message, going back to the ether reading and talking about that resolution, that union of opposites, and the light and the dark, and then that which is in between them and above them and beyond them and around them that leads to understanding. And this is saying that the message for you fire signs is to surrender to the struggle in your heart in order to escape it. And then my guides came in and were like, transcend. They don't have to escape. But I was like, you guys, yes, it is transcendence, but there's something authentic about fire signs and escapism. Escaping within, escaping without, escaping beyond, or transcending within, transcending without, transcending beyond. So what this is saying is, this is saying whatever that high-low of the last year has been, own it, honor it, give into it, surrender to it completely, surrender to the struggle by admitting fully that it's there. Fire tends to be quick and to move and to change and to grow and to, consume indiscriminately, with no limitations, no restraint, just constant growth, constant motion, constant change. And this is saying that you're just because you're gliding into this year doesn't mean you can't admit the truth of what's in your heart, and even to some extent the truth of what's difficult or what's challenging or what's been a struggle in your heart. And the idea that admittance can help you to escape that struggle is a powerful one, because basically what it's saying is like, you don't have to turn back, but it can be helpful, to look over your shoulder into the past, but really more so to look into yourself in the present, to sort of feel the reverberations and the freneticism of the past year, and to just admit to yourself that it is affecting you. The struggle is real, and to know that you are an indiscriminately consuming fire breather, so that when you admit that the struggle is real, instead of just trying to move on from it, or instead of indiscriminately growing beyond it, your flame can burn a little more concentrated, a little bit stronger, kind of like that's what I'm seeing the image of when a blowtorch is giving you all of the fans, and then you sort of focus the flame and it turns blue, and it's much easier to get to get through and to burn through that which might be holding you back. So you don't have to focus on the past. You don't even really have to look over your shoulder. It's more so the looking within to honor and acknowledge the shockwave, the reverberation of whatever struggle you've been through, in order to focus and escape. There's something else here which just makes me want to say, you are going to get yours this year, but rather than bearing down really hard and, like I said, setting those big, brassy, ballsy intentions of like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to get, this is who I am, the message here is rather, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. I accept that this has been hard, and that this has been a struggle, but that the I'm not there. I'm here, and I feel the reverberations, and those reverberations guide me in the direction of focusing my fire to change naturally, intuitively, effortlessly, to change. So it's like you don't have you have to do less than you think. Look within, look for where you feel that palpitating kind of vibe, and surrender to it. Surrender to that feeling, in order to allow the very best parts of yourself, which want to change and which want to transform, to change of their own accord. And it feels like you get to fly into Friday just recognizing the struggle, just recognizing it, honoring it. And I think that's why it says escape too, is because it's not just about, rising above and beyond it, but it is actually like putting it to an end. And again, for you guys as well, Saturday, Sunday brings in a whole wave of emotion. You get to take a breath in between this, semi-week of the first week of the year, and then the first full week of the year. The emotions come up, the water comes up, and you find some balance over the weekend. So that's the idea, is if you bear down too hard in the beginning of the week, you're going to burn pretty hot and maybe even a little out of control. And you run the risk of expressing some unnecessary anger on Friday. Be quieter than that. Be more serene than that. Be gentler with yourself than what I got to do, so that when you get to the weekend, the emotion comes in and it cools you down a little bit. The water comes in, it cools you down, you get to reflect, and then to start the week, unlike the air signs, where like, oh, now I get it, now I got a plan of attack, here we go. You get to start the week with the same serenity, and even to some extent with the same feeling of I'm just gliding, nothing to see here, nothing has changed, but fire is change, and it will change you. Perfect. Affirmation: I am effortless change. I am effortless change. So it's cool because they don't want to remind you of the struggle. You remind yourself of the struggle. Honor the struggle in order to escape it. And when you think, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Just affirm, I am effortless change. I am effortless change. I am effortless change. If I just breathe, if I just keep moving forward, the change is going to come. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next week.